Father Fábio. My name is Emmanuel. I'm 17 years old. 2 years ago, my parents separated. And from then on, I started to realize that I was a negative person. I always find myself thinking that I never found a person who will really love me. And with that comes the low self-esteem. And I suffer from it, Father. What can I do? My daughter, the reading we make of us is absolutely important for us to receive the reading that the other makes us. It would be very cruel on my part to expect the other to offer me what is my obligation to offer me. So, sometimes, Emmanuel, we have difficulty continuing life. It is because we are expecting the other to bring us. That the other prepares us what we should prepare. So, what is the first reality to be healed? Take a distance from your father and mother's wedding that it didn't work out and try to understand that this is not a rule for you. Because sometimes when I see the failure of my parents' marriage, I naturally think that mine will also be a failed experience. Because it is the closest example we have of us. So, you need to wash this dirty clothes. We need to reorient this vision. Yes. That's right. I will always be easier to interpret the world from what is being offered to me. So I interpret the wedding from the closest wedding I have. If me father and my mother didn't work out, I think weddings will all be like theirs. No, of them plans, and not. Look at other models that worked. Without the romantic vision, please. Marriage can only work as we fight daily for it. And they lived happily ever after. There is no such thing, no. And after you can have a vision that corresponds to reality, you work with the possibility that you also try it in your life. Loving is possible. Being loved is also possible. But this love it only becomes a reality in our lives as we open ourselves to Him, where you offer a daily opportunity to love and be loved. What is self-esteem? It's the first love we experience, isn't it? The first love I experiment is not for the other. It is for me. So much so that this is also part of maturity. When you are able to give up that excess love for you, who is the child's own? Because the child is not able to share. He has no emotional, affective, cognitive maturity to be able to give himself to someone one. So she is immature, and it is her right to be immature, because she is in that phase. But as she grows up, she realizes that she can offer herself to others, that she doesn't just have to receive. So, self-esteem is the balance of what you offers and what you offer to the other. There is no tender love. Self-esteem is never a lonely love. The love I have for me is always in sharing with each other. But I have to have love for me. Because otherwise I keep donating myself without offering myself. And then, of course, I'm creating a collapse for me. This is why maturity leads me to understand that in the exercise of self-love, I learn to love the other. And also in the exercise of love to each other, I end up coming back to the love I need to have for myself. So, Manuela, this cure is not just you who need it. Don't think it's just you who suffer from this discouragement. No, many of us suffer from this discouragement. Or many of us experience this failure not being sufficiently loved by you. Yes, I need to love the being that I am at. Loving me means reconciling my limits, knowing all mine or everything I can of my weaknesses, which I sometimes can't know everything. But as much as I can know of these weaknesses, so I can slice them so that they will play in my favor. Yes, because even my fragility, if she is under my domain, she favors me. It's like I said at the beginning of the program, there are restrictions that enable it. I am made possible when I live the restrictions sincerely, honestly, fairly. So the experience of loving yourself is your first homework. And then, of course, you will throw away this pessimism, which may have a consequence of your parents' unhappiness. We absorb so much from others. I absorb all the time of people who pass me. Again, say what is alkaline and what is acidic. All the time is offered to me. Now the problem is when I offer the acid feeling, when I offer myself the pessimism that deprives me of growth. So every day there is no rest, it's daily. No romantic vision, please. God does not come to do for us. The other will not do for us. It is me. It is you. We are the ones who have to do this exercise of choosing the alkaline, the feeling that purifies us, that maintains our health, and that will give us conditions to go forward, to overcome obstacles. Because this is how it's worth the life. It is difficult for all of us. I experience a difficult phase, and I'm learning from her. I want to learn from her, because otherwise this phase will only hurt me. And it is not fair. It is not fair that a phase just hurt me, hurt myself. It is not fair that a phase just hurts me. Grow with difficulty. We are all in the same boat, see? Don't feel alone in this story. I'm sure many who watch us now live the same conflict as you. Yes, people who need to love themselves, offer more to be able to offer others. Cultivation, To love that it is you to offer yourself a better cultivation. It is you to allow themselves to experience beauty through a book, through a good movie, through good conversation. Particularly my people, one of the things that most enchanted me is that Israel, Palestine, this division that exists there. The territory, the whole territory. The territory of Israel. So say, it is marked by such a beautiful contradiction. So beautiful, so venturous. Let's say, so full of destinations. It is in the middle of a desert. When we were in Jericho, for example, that I opened the bedroom window, I was delighted with the vision I had. An immense desert, but there in the middle an oasis, constantly seeing that mixture of desert and flowery. And I kept, as it can, in the midst of so much dryness, something to become so green, those fruits so colorful, so full of life. In the middle of the desert, the mystery is gout irrigation is an irrigation system developed by them because they have very little water. They have no abundance of water. So that the little water they have, they take care and do everything so that that water can reach dry places. And that box then come out the small hoses, taking the water in the middle of the desert, which from time to time releases a drop in a programming of sometimes 45 seconds, 1 minute. It's just a drop. It's not too much water. It is a drop that comes out of that hose, falls to the earth, and the miracle of being constant, this little drop will make the earth fertile. Even in the middle of a huge desert, it is possible to have that wonderful plantation because of the constancy of a drop that does not fail to fall. There is a wonderful mystery in all this, isn't it? Because in our life, it is often the same. And how many times have you been without answers? How am I going to leave? Or rather, how am I going to turn this desert into land that can be planted? How will this arid land come out of arid condition to become fertile? Maybe we're looking at there how they solve the problem of drought, the problem of Earth's aridity. We can find out a way too. If we drop a drop, however small, it already makes the difference. The constancy of that drop is transforming what is arid into fertile reality. Our heart often arid. If we drop a drop of forgiveness, a drop of love, little things. Sometimes our sadness is immense, but there are drops of joys that we can cultivate. There are small attitudes, small drops, which, if we do, the miracle of fertility returns. It happens. Just like there in that so dry land, it is possible to see plantations wonderful. The same thing we need to do. All the time we need to throw in the aridity of our lives a drop of hope that added to other small drops of hope are bringing transformation. No transformation is overnight. Everything in human life is procedural. That is the result of a process. No one becomes good overnight, the same way no one becomes bad overnight. It is the small processes we are living, the choices we are doing, is that they transform what we are. It is the small choices that constitute the great realities of our lives. You can see great destruction happen because of minor carelessness. Large accidents happen because of the sum of small carelessness. I remember when that gold plane crashed in the middle of the woods, many people asked what was the cause of the crash. And I heard an expert saying, "Look, the crash of a plane is not just a factor. There are numerous small factors that, when together, generate the catastrophe." Oh, the tragedy. The tragedy, it is born of small carelessness. Just as many years ago, a large airline plane, because the pilot distracted, typed the wrong route, instead of landing in Belém. He left in Singu. He ended up in the middle of that forest, totally the opposite side to which he should have gone because of a carelessness. My people, in our lives the same thing happens. If we do not take care, when we enter the route of our flight, our plane goes to a completely opposite side to which it should go. It is the carelessness that changed the route of our life, sometimes changing to good things, sometimes moving to terrible things. The day you neglect your family, your home, you can be sure it is very likely that sooner or later today's carelessness added to tomorrow's carelessness. The careless of tomorrow. Yesterday, it results in realities very sad. What you stop doing for your child today adds to other misconduct. Others, to others. You soon lose control of your child's life. Because education is that, right? It is the small, constant process, every day. Every time you dedicate yourself to the one who needs you. Loving is like this. It's no use you deeply love your child today, if tomorrow you despise you. It's no use giving your child a great gift today as proof of your love. No, it doesn't change his head or his heart. No, and there's no point in spending years and years and years away from your son, then arriving with your arms full as a gift to conquer you again. It's no use. What makes us faithful to others is the constant process of care. So if you want to have your child from your side all your life, take care of the small details. If you want your wedding works, take care of everyday small care, the small details of every day. This is what makes us constant. This is what makes us work. There is no success formula for human life. No, there is no book that you can read that your life will change. No. It's every day, every time you find out where you need to put your commitment, your care. It is the drop falling to the earth. And sometimes care seems to make it not make a difference, but it goes. Because it is being a sum, he joins other care. And these other care, when added, they generate an attitude, generate a way of being. And what is best in our lives is to transform our way of being, our attitude. And this transformation will only come from the moment we observe the little things. As we wrap up another insightful session at Path of Faith, we encourage you to be part of our community by commenting, liking, sharing, and subscribing. Together, let's spread the light of faith far and wide.